Where are we at today?
Something cave.
Something cave.
Mountain cave.
Mountain cave. Where is Mountain Cave,
I
Jack?
forgot. Kentucky.
Mountain Cave in Kentucky.
I forgot.
What are we going to do here?
We go into a cave and explore it.
We're going to go into a cave, explore it with helmets and flashlights,
Nope.
all that stuff. It's going to be a good
Nope.
time.
No helmets and flashlights.
Jack can't wait.
There's no helmets and flashlights.
Thanks for joining us here at Mammoth Cave National Park, home to the world's largest known cave system. This park's located about 30 minutes northwest from Bowling Green, Kentucky, which happens to be where we spent the night last night and started our day today. Today we're going to be taking the historic tour through the cave, but it doesn't start for a bit, so we're going to use this time to check out the visitor center and see the different exhibits they have to offer. We'll also check out the park film here in this theater, which has cavers rappelling from the ceiling. We met our tour group at this pavilion outside, and after listening to the ranger oversell how strenuous this tour is, we are on our way to the entrance. This tour is way more crowded than I thought it would be. We are here on a weekday in March, but it is spring break, so do take that into account. So after you ascend down into the cave, you kind of just go on a long walk. It's mostly tall throughout it, but some of it is shorter than the rest. Just for clarity, I'm about 6'1", so and I'm probably holding this camera about chest height. So that should give you some amount of idea of where we're at here. But the initial start of this is just a long walk until you get here to the Rotunda. Which is kind of the official entrance, I would say, to the tour. You then continue walking through this large, very open area, and it's huge. It's really quite sizable, but as you can see, there's not a lot of formations here. This almost feels like an old mine. In fact, as we come up here and stop, you're seeing kind of the relics, the ruins of an old mine here, and they stop and tell you a little story and show you some stuff. So, where are we, Jack?
Cave.
What cave are we in, Jack?
Mammoth Cave.
Mammoth Cave. Way to go! We finally got it. So after that very long break, where the ranger tells you some history of the place, how it used to be a saltpeter mine. And some other, I think, Native American history of the cave. It's actually very informative, but it does seem like it goes on a little bit longer than it needs to. You continue on, and it's a nice look. But as you go back, it starts getting tighter and tighter. Ultimately, we reached this bottleneck back here, which was quite a turn and quite a steep descent. As you're going to see here, this is not for tall people. We did it, but this is where I started to kind of realize what I was getting myself into. Oh, this is hard. Okay. All right. We're going to make it. Ow. Oh, just bumped my head. Now, since we were at the back of the tour group, when we got to the bottom, it was wide open. So that long delay that we had, we got quite an opening in front of us. And I guess we probably could have run to catch back up to the group, but didn't really feel like it. So it was kind of nice to actually get a view without people in front of me here for a while and wander through. It was also quite a relief after that opening. Now, mind you, the worst part is still to come. I do not know this at this point. I'm thinking, well, it can't get much worse than this. But it does, in fact, get worse. So stick around to check that out. Here we're coming up on the first of two big pits that are in here. This one didn't have a name. The second one has a sign that has a name, but this one did not. But you'd hate to fall into that. Yeah, this section here seemed to be popular with people wanting to mark their time in the cave. This is the second pit. This one has a name, Bottomless Pit. It is not, in fact, bottomless, but it's a very deep pit. As we get further back into the cave, it starts getting lower and lower and lower, and we're kind of going down at this point. So, but it is a lot of leaning over and not being able to stand up straight. So, and this is not the worst of it yet. So you can see here we continue to go lower and lower, and we're heading back towards an area known as Fat Man's Misery. Which I'm going to be honest, that like for being a big guy, it wasn't as big of a problem. I think for most of this area here, I'm kind of leaning over. So yeah, I'm going to flip the camera around here real quick and just kind of give you an idea how I had to walk. We did reach this bottleneck here, which was the start of Fat Man's Misery. So this did give us a nice little opportunity. As you can see, we're able to stand up straight in this area. So did give a nice break. Now, I imagine if this wasn't as crowded of a tour, this might not be so bad. But with this many people on it, it does take a while to shuffle everybody through here. So here we are at the entrance to Fat Man's Misery. Give you a nice little sign. And you can kind of see, basically the ceiling gets a little short, but there's a little channel that you kind of have to shimmy yourself through. And there's sections where you got to kind of turn sideways. It's not too bad. If you were claustrophobic, I could see this being a problem. You can see as you go through this, the area where your legs are starts getting a little bit taller, probably about waist level. There are sections kind of where you have to kind of lean over at your waist to sort of get through. But not too bad. I had a little bag with me, and the bag wasn't problematic, but you can see Jack here having to turn sideways to get through. So it's not too awful. The bad part actually is what's right about here. Oh. Oh my God, this is absolutely nuts. Ow. Okay, did I make it? Yeah. Oh gosh. All right. Whew. Well. Oh, there are bathrooms down here. What do you know? At the end of that, it opens up quite a bit. There are restrooms if you need to use the restrooms, but then they kind of shuffle you into this little area here where the ranger gives a talk for a little bit and answers questions if you have questions. It's kind of just a nice break for everybody to relax before moving on to Mammoth Dome, which is probably the most strenuous part of the tour. So here we are wrapping up, and we are moving on to Mammoth Dome. This section of the tour is very reminiscent of the beginning of the tour. It's just a lot of walking, not a lot of information. There's no real formations here. This is a very dry cave, I guess, and so there's no stalagmites or stalactites or flowstone or any of that stuff through most of it. It's just open rocks here, but I kind of wanted to show how this works, and so we just kind of speed it up here a little bit. But like I said, it's just a lot of walking as you go from that amphitheater area up into the Mammoth Dome section. Now, once you reach Mammoth Dome, this is impressive. This is an enormous chamber in here. There is some flow stone in here. You can see the water. There's water dripping in here. So picks it up. There's this enormous, absolutely enormous stairwell. I have no idea how they built this through there, but you get lots of views as you climb the stairs out of here. This is, you know, Fat Man's Misery is kind of neat. This was, to me, this was the most impressive part of the whole tour. Mostly because I like cave formations, and this is really the only spot in the cave where there were formations. But yeah, I think they said this is about 150 something steps through here. It's not too bad. It just gets real tight, and it's a lot of just back and forth, back and forth. But once you finish climbing the steps, you make your way back into the Rotunda, where they kind of gather you and thank you for coming, and, you know, kind of wrap up the tour. And now it's kind of the long walk back out. You and, well, I don't know, 150 of your closest friends, maybe more. I'm not sure. I mean, there are a lot of people coming in and going out at the same time. So you'll be able to see here when we get to the end. It was making it up the steps at the end was an absolute thing. Yeah, so here we are back at the entrance. You can see the line of people just waiting to go up the stairs. That was the line in front of us. Here's the line behind us. As you can see, it's a lot of folks. So anyway, Mammoth Cave, great time.